Tangke doji jajar son ron jinja madu duja banjam ba sarja lamba davara jibe shakje jarbu jadung jan za dorjen janjen de lo naru da ma ba ma la chuje gambo ba pa mo de ba jawan de gong ba kajo lama nam je da jo je da nan nan zura tam je da lama la ba la ye je so so la san yon din jam zo ngala Dindri Tunjin Rebe Gele Zo Dake Lo Chuson Roar Sinja Lab Do Zor Chu Lam Don Roar Sinja Lab Lam Droa Zebar Sinja Lab Do Zor Droa Yi San Jabar Sinja Lab Do Zor Kange Tenjin Roar Jong Gopa Me Ba Che Me Ba Che Ba Me Ba Dam me bandu me bata de du me donje me trupanye je je den ba zo ba sanje mananje tamba da la janzar de rinjin za ba la ma je je ku son do je zhen lan da 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 ge je lan be da da ge den ba da sun je je don je jen ban da xin je la de zo Nangwa dang nyambe simjin tamji dinde la nami bayang doba zubu sanje che kumarum bocha dobar sha. Di chu de dambe chu kang ye sin de du nyamse langwar jo nyambe samba chanchun chu de simji ba dang. Chu nyimbe kunju da kunlong manarbu go ne simbar tsal. De la kang simbar sawe chu ne. Chuban jitin sumjung gomba teni jinzebe. Tamchu gomba chikba. Dorji song jadang ngapchi dani jin tere tela da tereng tela chom dun yo ba le tereng chom ni ba chom ni ba na ge dorji song ni ba de de sarwa
So, first cultivate the motivation thinking. May all sentient beings, limitless as space, attain a state of unsurpassed, perfect and complete enlightenment. And for that sake, I shall listen to the Holy Dharma and then thereafter engage in practice. Cultivate such a motivation of bodhicitta. When you listen to the Dharma, cultivate such an unmistaken motivation. And the Dharma we are listening to is teaching by Lord Jikten Sumgön, the Buddha's single intention, the Gong Chik, consisting of 150 Vajra verses and 7 sections. And we are now in section number 2.
Kazang gedek ni le loma ting kimi sete oto teni ta ga yek sunde yang pen topa give topa ta me give topa ta topa ni chikchar de che chogris kanza chek jula tu chikchar de injirinda Inayang ndikapsu toni jikcharan jukpa misi jen song. Gebe toba tang, me gebe toba ni tawa jikchar de jonsi kamaris.
So we spoke about the other day we spoke about virtues and non-virtuous thoughts, and and then the next statement is that some people say that two different thoughts, like a virtuous and a non-virtuous thought, may arise simultaneously, but the text here refutes that by saying that two thoughts cannot occur simultaneously and two minds cannot arise together.
give us him, the give us him, and Tamji, Gijik, Jinga sinking, the Rag Dani Jinzang, Deni, doing Hapser, Rimjin, when a younger your race. Deni de on doi gaps garrison your race, you know. Give us him Jang, Gijing Maris, may give us him Jang, Gijing Mars, and Tanda Song Zang, then game ke topa ni chikchar to chia yong ba res.
And so it is said that, therefore, whether it's a virtuous mind or non-virtuous mind, once the other one has arisen, the previous one has been abandoned already. So the later one arises when the earlier one has ceased. And in the sutras it is said, the virtuous mind is momentary, and the non-virtuous mind is momentary, but they cannot arise simultaneously.
Tande zo te karere sina kazang gede ni le luma tingi mi sonroa. Te inzang gewa rang yingore, digba rang yingores. Teni karsi topa ni, gebe topa da me gebe topa ni, nyamde tu nyamde chi na chi nrima tawe chi yungore, samsandro yungore te, koroni nyamde a yungomares. Gebe topa ke chi chigla chi, me gebe topa ke chi yimbala chi endu, tu ngam chi yores.
So the other day we said that so there is either a virtuous thought or a non-virtuous thought, but there is no neutral thought or state of mind. So if it's virtuous, it's virtuous, and if it's non-virtuous, it's non-virtuous. And one may wonder whether it is possible for a virtuous thought and a non-virtuous thought to arise together, kind of like a mixed kind of thought, but actually that they never arise exactly together, and the later arises when the earlier one has ceased.
Oh yeah, that the water that Dorjson Sumba, that Sumba la goya de the Timder Kutsom de la Dorjson Jong and the Rabinang Goni and Jetsan or Dainza. Dorjison Sumba de Simjong Le Jang Simnen Jungwang Yu Song. Namjung Atsuke Semde Japonan Yiris. Then Simjong Tamje de Koryopo Tavajiris. Then Simjong Napjung Akji Yuri. De Semle Yonguri, Sechitan Tanave Shed Yuris. Yinayang Jikten Sumgön ke Simjong Kore Semjewa Yungu Yore Song.
So then we come to the next Vajra verse, and so now we are in the second section on the vital points of dependent origination, and the second section consists of 15 Vajra verses. Now we are on Vajra verse number 3 of that section, and it says, "Mind also arises from mental events." So normally, it is said that the mind is like the king and the mental events are like the servant, and there is 51 mental events. And normally it is said that these 51 mental events arise from the mind. But Jikten Sumgön says that actually mind also arises from mental events.
Yetjewa mi ba semris. Yetjewa mi ba dela Tokju Jinking de Semjong ris. The Tokju Jen Romdo Chu ba de Romdo Chunke de Sem Yin Zang da Semjong le Semjong Yore Song.
And so the basis is without arising, and the basis that is without arising is the mind, and then that which examines it is a mental event. That which removes superimpositions is again the mind, and therefore mind also arises from mental events.
There are 이게 어리 되는다. 지당 샘 히바드 당가랑서 다 샘종 시 샘진 적 요랑 하는 저 샘직 스텔 샘종 앞중 악게 요래 라레 다테인데 어느 샘 히바드 간다르리 있으나 되니 샘당 지당 로다 히바드서 동다 직반으로 지라 무종으로 요리 팁라퍼드 팁바 오마 탐직 리데 다드랭 데나 샘근치니 라 니히짱아 좀 조고 요르데 돈에 지히나 시본로 차야라 제발 요리 삼스
니히짱이
니히짱아
니히짱아 So generally it is said that the mind is one, and then there are 51 mental events. So the mind is mind or awareness is considered to be one and the same thing, especially according to the lesser vehicles. Also, it is explained that the mind possesses 25 characteristics, which I will share with you today.
남중아 소 곰자야당 드니 셈라 생오 뜻수 종야 뜻수 탐제라야 생무종고 여러 담보 대인장 되게 제발지 용거를 삼바리 대구 휴게인 드니 대인도 다 셈그 친이 담보라고 대 해대 깨직라 토미도 루누바 드니 디베들 뉴와라 로타버스 송여바리스
깨직 토메 카르레
깨직라 토바미바 깨직 잠라양 토미드 토바미바 론네바 하제뉴보 그런 얘기
론네바 될 라과
될
So the reason for mentioning that is normally when we meditate and we sustain the essence of the mind in order to recognize the mind, and so due to the difference that comes about, then I'm giving those examples. So the first characteristics is that the mind moves momentarily and unobstructedly. So it moves very quickly.
Then the careersna the haja neuro channel raptor neurovase that sent to you neurobona get sent to you. Chada Europena Nimaku, then around to Sagang the Churja and Karcha Dun Sujen Gogri Lavanda, the same the Delenjo who is.
Then the second characteristic is that it is not just quick, but it is the quickest. And so that is, for example, when the sun rays reach the earth, it is that it takes the sun rays 7 seconds, but 7 seconds to reach the earth. And the mind is even quicker than that.
Then Sumbate Cho Jigla Menepa Sita Semzu the Yoran Yinza, so Jigla Nesa Jilla Gagim Mandobaran Yintiris.
And the third characteristic is that the mind never abides in one location. It has the nature of movement.
Then Yipa the Cho Na Soba, you're not so Bacasa Rondo Kinji race Jerdan.
And then number 4 is that it travels to many different places.
Teni go kunin jungwa trewe tawe chiris namjunga sunam hi trewe tawe lawa trewe tawe go kunin sendu ngaranso
Go kuna kara.
wangbo me na je lu la so go kunin ko kasakani lewon go yozang paschala dongro yozang trewe na yinris.
And then the 5th is that it kind of jumps around between different doors. Therefore, it is like a monkey. So we have the sense doors of the eyes and the ears and the nose and so on, the body. And so the mind goes all over through the different sense doors to the outside.
Then tukpa ko yowa long taberis yowa ranginji.
Number 6 is its nature is movement, like the wind.
Demba de nang la rangi mi ba mi ju ta ba mi ju se nga zo na hi cawa nan che chuan ro chim tong dong na wa zam le ma dong su mi ba.
And number 7 is that while it appears, it lacks any inherent nature, just like a mirage. When the weather is getting hot, then we see the mirage of water, but it's just our perception, it's not actual water.
Teni jepa de sarwa la marme ta ba ri se korang ngo da wa de sarwa ran yin jin za marme ta ba. Teni gopa de la ko yeb da kado len de pa res.
Number 8 is because its essence is clear, it is like a butter lamp. And number 9 is that it transcends color and shape.
Teni joba de da topa mi ba jangren ka tsele pa panta gen ro sma na ko tomi den ro ne ba tse mi ba. Teni de joba re chukje ba de da dong tamba la ko jewa mi bra yin jin res jinga ne som dawa.
And number 10 is that it moves unobstructedly, no matter how far it can move there unobstructedly. So it is boundless. And number 11 is that on the ultimate level, ultimately it is unborn. It is without birth, abiding, and death.
Teni ko tapu ngobo tanjele je ne pena tatanga senke ina ke chesi de ke ja no de nyu tap je no je lam sang ngarang nang sen nang le leb yong wa la ya do yong ba de chu ni ba de re
Do la ya do sana
la ya nang de chal lo yong ba pena solo ne ke ja no ji ni de ni ang ko sen nang leb yong ro wa la nang do ba de
la ya do sana de chu ni re wa
de ko da dong chal leb yong ba ro wa pa chung cha de chal leb yong wa ro
Mari ha ko song ne yuen ten chu ni ba de ta chini chu ni ba de la ya do la ra
re
oh yeah. So then the 12th characteristic is that it always returns back. So that is when, for example, I hear you talk, then I'm listening to what Ina says, for example, and then the mind comes back, it goes inside.
Then go Drigung Tenzin Zenare Drigung Yewano Masibo Tonico Yolapa Nendra Dendra the Juxon Baterindoa. Then Namhi Sotok Yor Sudatrola Sobaka Yor T Yor de la Long Chupapa de Juki Baterinda.
Long Chupapa?
Long Chupapo. nam hi cho to ki yora zu da ro exala so ba chu tela chi long chung khin da je kora
Then number 13 Dadan sarang na amjo gita de marawa
that ri te ka drap chen ro pe na
amjo gita ro
te na ro
so number 13 is it discerns between the sounds and the meaning. So in this sense, it dwells within the object perceived. And number 14 is that the consciousness, like wind, enters into the 6 sense objects.
Ko yolon judu york ne tang hin kin chani kun shibas jong abat judo bade teni yang zeji de ne na ne tung kin yin zang ngara zo gong so ja ne teni zeji de ne to go yora te ne tung kin de yin zang ma cho was
Number 15 is as it enters the objects, it knows the nature of that object. So it is all-knowing. And 16 is that it has the ability to abide single-pointedly. For example, when you meditate, you're abiding single-pointedly. So it has the characteristic of not being scattered.
Tene jubden ba de ngobu chani ta ko tongba res tene jobje ba de ngobu chan tongba yin jang kol kare na nang choba tena je res
17 is that its essence is empty, and number 18 is that because its essence is empty, anything can appear.
Jugaba de tene dong kurang ngola singwa da guba la so ba tar songwa yin bechani ko hiwa cha de yorus singu da travel chani tene ko chilen ro chepar ji chani tene chi ta yola yor dam da tha de ba tan la jukparan ye jin ro cha de yorus ni he bat
Number 19 is that from the perspective of its ultimate essence, it is without mental sinking, like a lack of mental clarity, and without agitation. So it is peaceful. And number 20 is that in terms of its function, it enters various different objects. Its nature is to enter various different objects.
Ni hit sakje ba da ko hiba la so ba da rekjik de ne pechane rekjik bas
Another color
la
Titanda chara shiba
rekjik ba zu de korang pen ngarang zo me rekjik ba la ho do ten ro ko che slog pembo la so ba da rekjik ba ma yin ba se hiba da rekjik ba cha de ra tene don dambala ko
21
te ni hitsak ti riba tene ni hitsani ba de ta don dambala ngo don dang ku chani ngo thade da tarwa tena cha de yoris don dang ku chani ngo thade da tarwa ni hitsani ba ni hitsak som ba de tene kolon kor simzong ngapchi ngakchi yori la ba to so da nyam de la le ka chinkin je tena cha de telan chungding la do kor simzong dan chungbar dem bas Tsungdin hiba de yolan jugdi ko nyam leka nyamle chingkin raw chik chada yore. Semjong korang ke la yub semjong to so nyam de leka nyam de len rokin.
Then number 21 is that its kind is awareness. So it has the same, literally has the same kind of awareness, that is awareness. In other words, for example, we say that we are of the same nationality or something like that, or same race. So it's the same. It is same with awareness. So it's not matter. In other words, 22 is on the ultimate level, from the perspective of the essence. Ultimately, it is devoid of any distinctions. It is not separate from anything. And number 23 is that, so we said that there are 51 mental events, and so it engages simultaneously with them. So it enters the object, and while it is associated with the object, so the mind kind of becomes like associated with the object.
Tini nishe tsaji pa te ta tondam pala sem korang ke tondam rawala tini de maung sine che yo mare ngaran so ke te chasi yo bare ma to ke tusum ti chani tusum nyamba ni cha de yoris te nishe tsaji pa te number he ba korang la zang ni tanda ke che ye wa no mi ba yin sa ta nyum cha de yoris.
And then number 24 is that from the ultimate perspective, the mind is beyond the three times, past, present, and future. The time is something that we make up, but actually in the mind, the three times are all equal. And number 25 is that there, in terms of thought, there is no label of good and bad, so it is equanimity.
Ta sem sidere sem jiba de namju nga so darak sem kin chini ni hyo chang a he wa de kunzup da dondan chepar machine ta nyam de la chutni yong bari teni ngarang so sem la ta ne sem ko to ni nyam ni jinki na andi ke chini de pe ma se kar chimbo cha de no teni yang sem to la nyam ni de na ma yin ba ting sang jin sin rek la so ba tu bu ke teni ngarang so ko sem ko to la de he ja go no yang tu su ke chini tu so pe kar chimbo cha de yor hi za kar chin cha de yoris.
So these are the 25 characteristics of the mind, and here no difference is made between the relative and the ultimate, so they are described together. And especially for someone who practices meditating on the nature of the mind, these characteristics are very important. And even if we are not practicing looking at the mind, even from the perspective of nowadays science, for example, actually those characteristics are also very important. They are something that should be known.
Namjeng atso ke sem chi che do do ro chegla ngu zong yo re te an dai de ke yo re te ta no hip cha thong yo ma re te jum sing ke ta tara sem da sem jong ke nam ya te den yong go ya te re gong jing na na te ta ti sem chi ba de la sem jong nyam de le ka ching kin ro te ngap chung ak je yo re ta te kang ri sin na dang bo te la cho was nibatin dushi that song as a lam sang ha ko don ri ja gom lo den sumba de la semba Teni yibatela yila chiba so. Ta semba hibaten da yila chibateni Reheji Majana Tesa Hako Kalakaboyore. Semba Shiba the Karenda was Reheja Yuresena Jarpoche Jimitsartan Rogo Yuna Kodi Koran Jarpote Yuktre Yuksatin Al Yalanki Yalangwichatela Data Vetela Sempa Lakoyores. Tene Pa Jimitsala Panjo Pandro Yorava. Tela yolan jukba sida imarila sibas.
Jimmy is not Jimmy Ragomar.
Jimmy Sal the Gadi Meto Dumra.
Gardener.
Meto Dumra.
The current do Jupatirva.
Re that symbol on the counter. Miyurjik Perna Japote, Jim Salapando, Gunondogos, and the young Jixen are Kulongo Jink, Della Simba Labdo. The Yila Sibazu didn't touch it to Tikarapa. Yolan Jondo at it.
So sometimes we think of the mind as something like a one kind of thing. And it's okay to see it that way, but this is not a very refined way of viewing the mind. So this is explained here in the Gong Chik. So the mind arises also from mental events. So we have the mind and we have the 51 mental events. And the mind acts together with those 51 mental events. So those 51 mental events are first feeling, second perception, third intention, fourth like engagement, mental engagement. And so those two maybe need to be explained a bit more. So the intention is, for example, like a king has the intention to go into the garden, so he gets up from his throne. So he has this intention, he has a goal. And the mental engagement is then when you actually follow this intention. So he's actually going out into the garden. So we are engaging in the object of our intention.
Tening apa de la rikpa hiba ten trepeton rawa trepeton. Teni tukpa de la dumba shiba donde nyer tondari donyer. Teni dumba de la muba shiba de yorje gene tang de ha kone teni de la duba shiba. Ha go toni ti yor de la duba shiba ta tani shiba duba de rawa. Teni jeba de jimba nga tsutsam ha kore rekhe jagamodo guba de tinginzi ha kore teni joba de hirab ha korwa teni jukjek ba de deba teni ha kore juni ba de ngosa hiba ta ngosa hiba de rangu lo de ngosa hiba la go yore teni jukson ba de teryoba hiba de yingo lo de teryoba juge ba de machaba jonga ba madangba se hedang me ba judo ba temong me ba teni jubden ba de zungru jobje ba de xinjiang shi ba de ben sem xinjiang zone de sem de gewa ge solo korna gangdongdu du kor choban raoji Jobje part.
Then number 5 is contact. So we are encountering, meeting. And so then number 6 is intention. So we are kind of striving towards something, an interest. But that's actually number 7 is the interest. Number 8 is so interest. Interest also means that you recognize the nature of an object and then you aspire toward it. Number 8 is mindfulness, and we understand that. Number 9 is samadhi. That's also clear. Number 10 is wisdom. Number 11 is faith. Number 12 is shame, and so that refers to with regard to oneself. And so number 12, right? Number 13 is propriety, which refers to others. It's 12, right? Then 13 is non-attachment. 14.
13.
Is it? I'm mixing up the numbers.
14.
14, right?
Mm-hmm.
14, non-attachment, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then 15, non-hatred. 16, non-ignorance. 17, diligence. And 18 is pliancy. And so pliancy means that you are able, one is able to direct the mind toward what one wants to do. So one is able, for example, to direct the mind toward virtue as one wishes.
Then Kyobpa de ba yu ba te ha ko do chame ni hyo ba tang nyom ni hyo chak chek ba number men se wa then yang ni hyo cha ni ba du cha chak som ba khong cho cha ye ba ngajar chang ba marek ba cha ro ba ore ta chang ba de hina.
The number 19 is heedfulness, and we also know that. Number 20 is equanimity. Number 21 is non-violence. Number 22 is attachment. Number 23 is hatred or anger. And number 24 is pride. And number 25 is ignorance.
Then you should Tawa Hiba the Susoki Tuntando, Chulogo the Tuntando in Zin, what the Tawa Lagu written Susoke Susu Tadum was in Zin, I or what the Tawas. Then you Zabdum but Tetsum Zabje but Troa Shibande Narsemberg Semra Narsemba. Then Narsem.
Oh yeah.
Then you hear Zagabate Kunzi Hagorova. Then you Sumjabade Chapa Hibade round the Notre Yonama Bay but Chando Jirindo Chapa. Then Sigba Hibade Sumcha Sokjik Banda. May yink is so June line to Tini June de la Magana. Then Teacher la son don sigba zondo teni sumcho soni bade chado
sochik mara
sokje bade sigba
ne
sumcho chapa
oh yeah I read it teaching window.
Chite but the Georgian name.
Some cheap part of Then number 26 is holding views. And so view here refers to like of holding onto one's own view, for example, one's own the view of one's own religion and so on. Number 27 is doubts. Number 28 is belligerence. Number 29 is grudge holding. Number 30 is concealment. So for example, you're hiding, you're concealing your own mistakes. Number 31 is, again, heated anger. For example, when you see somebody else's fault, it makes you angry.
야, 되니 숨치 손이 바데 차도 속선 바데 센나. 되니 숨치 소지 바 저시 바데 랑라 용디 미나지 유 돈돈로 유 파르틴 팀부군롱로 데레와. 되니 숨치 소 송아 바데 요시. 남중아서 요지스 직반로 저기는 마도 요시 바데 소소를 중요는 양 대체 용딘 돈돈로지 진야지와 데니 데서 카카리노와 중요나지 민돈돈로지 타데 요 창크도와 데니 숨치 소로바데 작바스디 소소르지 작바한다 나자르냥 라고 요래 야나 노르니 거요말 작바 히바데 킹부 동레 킹 누드마스 프로파드마즈나 잘라노 바 킹데바 디나나 준도 룩사미데바 데니 순주 소덴바데 넘버 7와린도 넘버 7와 대하고도 데니 sobje ba ngocha mi ba so ge ba ter mi ba
so go part to then number 20 30 number 32 is jealousy. Number 33 is stinginess. Number 34 is pretense. So you're pretending, and for example, if you don't have a certain quality, you're pretending to have that quality, like you're acting like you have that quality even though you don't. So pretense. Number 35, dishonesty, just a little similar. Also, it is, for example, if you do not have a certain quality, you pretend like you have it, or if you have a fault, you pretend like this fault is a quality. So it's quite similar. Number 36 is arrogance, which is similar to pride, but we should not mix them up. So this term here means to be like full of yourself, like a vessel, like something that's full, so you can't pour anything else in there. So it's already completely full, being full of oneself. Then number 37 is harming others. Number 38 is a lack of a sense of shame. And then number 39 is a lack of a sense of blame, or like a lack of fear of blame.
Teni da yipje pade mukpa hiba de seman tepecha de riwa tepecha. Teni gupa hiba de pan chondo cha riwa. Teni da gupa de yipje hik ba chi. Yipje hini ba de madeba se tepa mi barwa. Teni yipje hik son ba lelo. Teha ko hikye ba mi. Tap ta hi ba yu ba la son tik do da ba mi ba. Teni yipji he nga ba de jinge ta jinge ha ko ra teni te ba de he na.
Number 40 is dullness, like a mental, a lack of clarity, being dull. And number 41 is mental agitation. Number 43 42 is like distrust, or like a lack of faith. Number 43 is laziness. Number 44 is heedlessness, which is the opposite of the previous one, heedfulness. And number 45 is forgetfulness.
Then yipchi hero bade huyi mayin bas. Yipchi hebdun bade namye hebje bade ni hego ba nju ba. Then ngapche de to bas. Then ngapche ngakche bade ju bas yor zang la sup ju ba. O dan dare simzong. Ngapche ngakche sede.
The number 46 is unalertness. Number 47 is distraction. Number 48 is like sleep. Number 49 is regret. Number 50 is conceptual thought, coarse conceptual thought. Number 51 is like a subtle analytical thought. So these are the 51 mental events.
Oh, yeah, that's the Simjong Shishi and the Denry. Then taking a Janka no Mang Trayo na Higmari Churanzo. In a Janka the Tendrav and the Sanje Jomdin, the Chupong Jetri Yitong or the Zoo de Timong Drovin boy in Sungayori. Narans Timok Shibata Lon tempted. Lo pass Sarvichala Magaran Yinjua. Then the Gangdarian Dadang around Sundu, Sem the Simjong, Navya de Higo, Bekarchimbo, Lapart, Yamlina, Kinjina, Dinavya de Abomahina, Deni Pacher, the Galakapo Yorisams, Lapart, Lamtong Lasba Gomdu, Tatara Simjong Abjung Akjibonde, Benangi, Meton de la Lopa, de du. Method gan lo gay tin tapate nature la hene la ko yorwa samdong jungo chani yor method la je ba ji dang yurjin lo de chur je ba ji ni yu du zo de gar sin yurjin lo de je go yorwa maran zu sem den dor go yorwa dor ndu da simjong ngap jung ak ji bo de di sem den yam de chapchang ro go yorwesna ro go mari tin ga he give simjong cha do yoren ga he me give simjong cha do yor Da didn't give Simjong Gang the Gang Jihendo. Not same did the Yam the Gang the Gangdo. That talking Jago Yurda. Oh, not Meton de la Yabundo san Jin do. That didn't the Nak Megivok Simjong Bena. That didn't Lamduyak do cha the Troa Kunzi la Superlelo las Bakang the Gangdo sir. None the Jin didn't sound down. Then Tartoking around to Gong Tars took the number Sanjeba, Lamtong Chad, your Lamtong Gomiat. Then Ryan Lamtong Gon do so, Eugene again, Eugene Tone, draw Topswaina, also Jortokuri. Yorgoton, draw Topazanje, Jortokoyomarwa. Bena Nata which oh, Tapimiji Lata, Tanga Tahaya Puchigo, sing it, Pumi till Zabzaje, Dumbala make mate, Pumi, Yosa Sachajilla Masomba, Zamji, Nandu Chala Drota Yomanga, Simon and Duchat near the Usam, Dan Tartok Drogos at the Nandu Chala Drogo Yuri, Chapala Drogo Yuri. Not Chapala Drorswana, up me, Jatong Trenyam the dead and a Simra Yomari. That day in the Eugene the Drogo at so in the Eugene Netan Hamon, can have Drogorda. Sanje Jomdin de Gamolo. Molo Mangburin, Hinelas about Gom, Trap, Cho, de Palasubak, Kablukatsa Mambo Jam, Tamakong, Tartok Dorate. Then that Lamtong over to the Dorson Harba. Hang around to Sanje Jomdin the Jijo Inza, that did on the Drogo. Then I is the Semta Simjong Ganavia de Hako, a Garchimocha de Yoris.
So this is the mind and the mental events, and maybe these were a lot of numbers for you. But then the Buddha, and he taught the 84,000 Dhamma teachings, he taught them all really as an antidote to ignorance, to tame ignorance. And this ignorant mind is a mind of dullness, a mind that dislikes the aspect of clarity. And so this explanation on the mind and the mental events is really very important, especially for a practitioner. If we don't understand that as a practitioner, then we will probably have a hard time, especially when it comes to the practice of vipassana or this highest insight. So, for example, regarding these 51 mental events, for example, when I'm practicing meditation and I'm looking at a flower, so my mind just dwells there with that flower. And that is the practice of calm abiding or shamatha. And then vipassana, or this highest insight, the insight to the mind, is, so when I'm looking at the flower, there's the flower, which is the object, and then there is the subject, the perceiving mind. So there is those two. What needs to be tamed is the subject mind. The mind needs to be tamed and not the object. And so those 51 mental events, do they occur all together? They do not occur together. We have at times virtuous states of mind, at times non-virtuous states of mind. And we have to look within to see what state of mind we are in currently, what kind of mind arises. We have to analyze our mind. So, for example, I'm looking at that flower and I'm thinking that this flower is nice. So together with me, with my mind, there is a mental event happening. So various events can arise, like we mentioned before, like attachment can arise, or anger, or we are holding grudges, or we are getting lazy, and so on. So all of these can arise at that time. And ultimately now, the ultimate practice for a Buddhist really is the practice of vipassana, the meditation of vipassana. And in that context now, what needs to become liberated is not the object that we are focused on, but it is the mind that perceives that object. For example, another example, I'm a monk and I'm thinking I want to be a good monk. So because I want to be a good monk, I'm very careful when it comes to women. I'm trying not to look at them. I'm trying not to go anywhere where there is women. So if I do that, then I have not liberated my mind. I've become liberated from the object. But what I actually need to become liberated from is my attachment, my desire. And once I'm liberated from that, even if I'm together with hundreds and thousands of women, I have nothing to worry about. So it is the subject, the mind, that has to become liberated. So when we understand that essence, then we can liberate the mind. Like the Buddha himself, for example, had showed it in his life. He endured many hardships and meditated for many years. And for example, at one time he was meditating underwater. So he endured all kinds of hardships, but the ultimate liberation was attained through the practice of vipassana. That's how he attained liberation. And now, since we are followers of the Buddha, this is how also we should become liberated. So for us practitioners, to understand the mind and the mental events is really very important.
Yin yang hine gongo mare la kuyo mare ngarang zo tanis long ni ge mare hine go ade ma yi cha de yore sonza lalin sub du manana hine rab de dimbe sondo Teni Digana Dalam Tong Gom, Tartok Dorzi, the Lantong Imbala, Tell Ro Jinkiti Hine in Zangaran to Hine Lab Super Gom, the Karchimbacha Yure, Tani Sumalombachi Goyure. That day that was Semda Simjong Ganavia over Tony, that then a Semle Simjong Legend, Semlin Jung, you son Dorji son Dinana. Then Della Pecare here, Yorisina, Perna Nek Song Pan Dev Yodu, Tell Jujin Ram da Tone. Yang Tonka ne Ranja Churchi and Gdwa. Dina Yiko Simjong the same le Chim Simjong Yona Yang Simjong the same Churchiwa Yuri is in that take here Yuri.
So this, having said this, this does not mean that we don't have to practice shamatha or calm abiding. So we should not fall into either extreme. Shamatha is the foundation. The 37 Bodhisattva practices, it says that one should engage in the practice of Vipassana combined with or based on perfect shamatha. But what ultimately leads to liberation is Vipassana. Shamatha is like the support. It's also very important. So we shouldn't fall into any of the extremes. And so really understanding the point of mind and mental events then leads to that Vajra statement here. Mind also arises from mental events. For example, it is like plant causes and conditions that come together. You will get barley in the fall. So this is to show that mind also arises from mental events.
Oh yeah, that the order Tani Dorjison didn't carry song yourself. Corver jumps or leaning corva in song. Then they turned the young ying corva corzi the same conan corgo yorimado, look corgo yomare song. Not that they do look and moons in Dante Manawa in Sarah, come della look corva in song. Then they got the Lunkora in Sedu, Lucare Languzongo Yorisina, Salong Lu Chawa, Hinder Chawate, Tinting Nahikitin Yogo Yuris, Tenayanza, Covet Jamsolo Lunkora Yorison.
And then we come to the next Vajra statement, which says, it is the body that transmigrates in samsara. And others claim that it is only the mind, but not the body, that transmigrates in samsara. And so this is probably because the way in which we identify the body might be slightly different. So here, when we say that the body transmigrates in samsara, what is meant is that the consciousness needs the support of body, even as a subtle body, the subtle body of the channels and the winds. And so it is that, because it needs it as a support, it is that which wanders in the ocean of samsara.
Dara sur dunga dinana song sur nandana yore, the sur nandizo sir mampoche no and sir chang yorindo. Then ngam lutin borrata, Givan pa da pardolan ro jebicas. Chim lutin manis, Sipa parma dose, da pardune caps, ngam lutin the portsarang azotara glunda, Jevasiman ronda jomara. Chim lutin manis, Lu Yimba lang yo Maria Perna, Milichulunda Yamana Lalucarena, Lutin Malanza, Chim lutin manis. Ta sipa parma to the cham to do, Tantel Lu Yorvesena, Yores, Kainsena, Tudor Nantosola Songoyra, Wampo Gunsang Tomi Joson, Wampo Gunsang Tomi Jo. Tandi Ludela, main Caretanari, Pakchak Lulanarin, Tato,
Wampo Gunsang Tomi Joson,
Call Wampo Tama Tang the Yoris. Wambo Tama Tang, Tommy Josina, that Tarang around to Dujek Hatag Ludeina, Jangla Sopan, Rela Soba Pass and Pong and Rotogo Yomarwa. The Yina Konam Hite, Pardu Lute, the Rela Soba Tamje, Korajan and Rom Goba Pakato, Ched Jun and Rotogo Yorwa, Tommy Josid. Da Kola Luci Yoris, da Wambokun Tommy Josend, Wambokun Sango Yona, Teletuba Luci Yoris, da Lute Rapa, Naran Sutara Dujek Lute Maina, Yilu, the main of Yilu the Tagir, Yores.
For example, there's this sewer smoke offering, or this sewer practice that we do for the deceased and also passed away. And this is actually also taken from the sutras. And one line in there says that you have cast aside your previous body, your old body. You have died, but you have not yet found your next body, such as a human or God and so on. But you're wandering in the bardo of becoming. So in that state, in the bardo, do we have a body? There is a body. It is said in the Bardo Tudur text, one possesses all sense faculties complete, and yet one is unobstructed. So, for example, one does not possess a physical material body of flesh, blood, and bones, and therefore one unobstructedly is able to move through walls and mountains and so on. Normally we can't do that with our physical body. We can't move through physical matter. But the Bardo consciousness can do so directly, and it, for example, can circle around a mountain in one instant and so on. So there is a body, but it's not the coarse material body that we have, but it's called a mental body.
Tandela Druzi de Shanti Deva Garrison Yore Shubayana Yin Luci Main Base, not so Yide Lumaris Yide Sujang Gang to Yomanus. The Yide Nyawala Jiwanari, Pardo Las Bakanjina and Soke.
Covered this chase and Gondayan.
Yin Luci Main de Sonta Shanti Devake Junjona. The Yi Sijit Lumare was Teni Nibatella Sujang Gang Dang Yomanus Sojeketela Nuba Chitokuyomars, Nuba Sidipena Solek Tarek Jea make Siala Sabate Tokoyomarwa. Yina Nyawana so younger Yorwa. Then Lula Umpar Himbe Nas. That Lutelang around to Tarsem the Jack Pachan, Teni Jehin do. Then Luna Domar Taki Nus, Ta Lula Doma Tamjek, no younger Yuri said, they do ta same the Lutela cha and do. Tamadella call a Yilu se Pakchaji drum younger Yuris. Then they Yigabi Hindu, Maranzo Koal and Condosi de Yilu. Zenari, Lunin Korain, so I take there in the
So then to prove this point, Shantideva says in the Bodhicharya Avatara, since the mind does not possess a body, so the mind is not the body, no one whosoever can destroy it. So it cannot be damaged, like it cannot be cut by an axe or burned by fire or injured in any way. But due to its attachment to the body which is suffering harms it. So previously, even though it cannot be burned by fire and cut, these are things that do happen in hell. Because they're attached to the body, it causes harm and suffering. So due to an ongoing attachment to the body, we create the mental body of karmic imprints. And this is this mental body that we are talking about here that transmigrates in samsara.
Tene gombo lodok rigpa tukje pales gombo lodok rigpa tukje panana kareson yuresena karte pungpo manganas nyumong se jangde mangers gangse teang ga jorpa te tsena trowan jorso tak tedu karte pungpo mangana sendo se pungpo de yilu de la samtango te yibyaben tinen rangdo yilu de pakcha cha do thwa pakcha den thar do na hizrba cha do yorwa tene de inza hizrba de la madrona tene nyumong se jang nyang len de tok maris tu nam hila gangse teang ga jorpa sedu tu nam hila yilu pakcha de la sandu pakcha de la drondu tene de tsena number dorzu de tsena trowan jorsundu ta tene ta khowale tortogri nyande ji kompa tortogri sumjerin to tek drufen do long khor jamsul ni khorwayin sunyade je
Nagarjuna said in the 60 lines of reasoning, that if the skandhas, the aggregates, do not cease, one cannot pass into nirvana, even if the afflictions are exhausted. When the skandhas cease, one will be liberated. So the mental body is created through karmic imprints. And karmic imprints arise ultimately because of the subtle obscuration to omniscience, the cognitive obscuration. And if, for as long as we do not become liberated from this obscuration, even if afflictive emotions are exhausted, nirvana cannot be attained, liberation cannot be attained. So even when the skandha cease, even when the mental body of karmic imprints ceases, becomes liberated, only when the skandhas completely cease, one will become liberated from samsara or attain nirvana. But it does not happen only if the afflictions are exhausted. So this verse here proves the fact that it is the body that transmigrates in samsara.
Oh yeah, that would dorji song de correct thing yoresina. Timder juni marikoni use dere. That timder juni ganyin ba de tiola ma rike yongdo dedi jachogdo. Then the timder juni bonde yo nduk je geta so on the table on table that's all about. Carry this in a marik pari song. Timder juni marik kone use kona sing song dajardua. The marik bate katsek digba chimbo yimbate dorji song yimban and man rike yongur. That timder juni marik kone you undo that mariba large one gandu, mariba the large one gandu, teletine, dubzi large one ganu grace, marings and duzirova. Dubzi large one gana, namshi large one ganguris. Tatenda we indu timber juni ke pook drawate, maribala todo, junkong drawaji chada yuris. That timber juni in the tankoala chunkorio, kotang drawaterwa. Tena inzang timder juni marik kone yuso.
And then the next Vajra verse, number 5, is all 12 links of dependent origination are the movement of ignorance. And so we go more into those 12 links a little later. But what the principal factor that gets those 12 links going, the movement here is ignorance. And so this also will occur in a later Vajra verse. So it all arises from ignorance. And now when ignorance, when the arising of ignorance is stopped, then also the next link, which is formative forces, comes to an end. And if formative forces cease, then also consciousness, the third link, ceases, and so forth. So the 12 links of interdependent origination come back to ignorance. And that's why it is placed as the first one. It is like the source of all the other links. And it is because of that, when it is present, that one wanders in samsara. So all 12 links of dependent origination are the movement of ignorance.
Oh yeah. Nandala Marikpa Tinder Juni Zen do Marikpa in the Chachigla Zen or Yinke. Yin Parmochik Daran Zen Royer. Then Jikten Sumgön ke Yibala Tinder Juni Marikon Yu Sem Bokapso Tinder Kayla Duzi Namhilas Bar in the Marikpa Koran Yoris Koran Yilla Marikpa Chayoris, that's all the Hakogodo.
So, of the 12 links of dependent origination, others will claim that ignorance is merely one aspect of dependent origination. And then the other ones are each their own aspect. But Jikten Sumgön says that each of those 12 links is moved by ignorance. So then ignorance is not a separate aspect from the other 12 links, but each of those 12 links possesses an aspect of ignorance. And so that's the important thing to understand here.
Oh yeah, then dikaps Marikpa Hibate, Tekonani la Dibzi, Tomung Simbaranzim, but Sinzin Kana Mandala Muson Yore, Marikpa Hibate, Tongak Zawa.
Tekonani Dibsi Dinner?
And dikaps Marikpa Hiba Muzungsate, Tongak Zawa, Sinzin Timuk de la Muzondoa.
So ignorance is what obscures suchness, and it is the root of all suffering, the root of the other 5 poisons.
Oh, yeah, that the Dorji song, they get Tinder Juni, Gijik la Changs, Tanda Karchamboche, they tomo my impact young Yitzon Roji Chayong, or tomo my impact Yitzers and Nanda, they in some that Tinder Juni in the Ying Yitzer Jena, Tinder Juni in the Som la Zok Yoris, Cha Som the good. Tinder Juni the Tumberson of Pagu, the Tumberson de Metze Som Rawajela. The Nicha Tinder Juni, Jake Tanka Yoris, Serete. Tandal Kaching ma Jake Dangla, Tinder Juni Sang Yoris. Then the Kaching on the Java Zopu Kaching Mas, Java Zopu Kaching Ma Zedang Jikdang. Tumtuk Kaching Mas and Kachiga, Tumtuk Kaching Ma the Hajang, Tonga Kaching Ma Chaga Yorwa.
The Hakoman of Tumtuk Kaching Machin.
Oh, yeah. Charan Tambo, the Journal Kaching Mark the Jin Rekajao.
And so this is actually, as I think the next statement, on the 12 links is, the 12 links of dependent origination are also complete in an instant. And so this is an important point, the way it is explained here, because it's unique. Others usually say that the 12 links of dependent origination are complete in 3 parts or sections. So there's 3 sections, like 3 different lifetimes. But Jikten Sumgön here actually saying that the 12 links actually are complete in a single instant.
Dan the kitchen mandala Java Zup kitchen magic la Chang San Dan here Pacher the Jago sorry. Then the Java Zup kitchen mas Java Zipena that's Java pen seven of and of them in the Yuntala kitchen magic. Several Lapa going around so Lapa Zumoni can chuck the Daiwa. Deku. Dalata kitchen magic Java Zup kitchen. Do you know Jogo sorry, Pacha?
Kitchik. So the instant here, in one instant, there is an instant of completing an action. So the time it takes to snap one's finger can said to be an instant.
Dan that kitchen to China get timber junior the rope something man Hubaina that Jepa did Yinda and Charan socket that the when and Hakoguri, the Namju Mambo song of Yoza. Tapi doing the journey mat Jungse Hugins. Then the Tambo the Marek Gimo Lunga and us timber junior petting on the Yorova. Then the Zid said the Zamazon and us, Zamazo and us, Zamamambozon to Kinchioa.
Rikti Gimo Longa.
Make Lunga, Gimo Lungandra. That Gapo Lunga and I did Gimo Lunga and I
did she do? Another
do she Zamazo and Zamamambozoda Zamamambozon the Sajiwa? Then Namhi the number he but us, number he but Rawaji. Hingon the answer, Manza, the Sachi Mudejo. Tini main the zone the church, Jolly Hill the margin Roya, tell Minzog Perry. Tini Jimchi Jode Kamba Tumba Janyang Zuya Jojiwa that Peritere Kamba Tumba. Then about the then it about the Ripa. Ripa them pinson Osin, Osinam to Akoyora, Hosibandas. Then it's all see the
What's it an Kachi?
Kaji. There to what in the Then it dumba the Toa Megland Dasok de what the Toa Kiperi there.
Mikla Das
Megland Dasok deba. Da arrow. Megland Dasok deba. Oh, yeah, Tambo Chik deba than Rikiano.
So to give just a brief explanation on the 12 links of interdependent originations and how they are complete in one instant. Normally we mention that a lot, so you can read about that elsewhere. And so first of all, the first link is ignorance, and that's like a blind old woman. Number 2, formative forces is like creating clay pots. Number 3 is consciousness, which is like a monkey, never staying in one place, going here and there. Number 4 is name and form, which is like boarding a ship. Number 5 is the 6 senses, which is like being in an empty house. Number 6 is contact, which is like kissing someone. Number 7 is feelings, which is like having an arrow pierce your eye.
thế chế ba để mấy cái trang thông đó là xí ba chiếu trang thông đó chiếu cái trang thông đó sao cái what để thế nên cái ba để cái hình thô cái mà linh cái đó là linh ba beri thế rồi thế nên chế ba để xí ba đó thế nên bây giờ kuba na bu yu de ba de beri de ya rồi chúc chiếc bà để bấm để là bùi để mà chế rồi à ngan này bùi mà chế mà để rồi đến chỗ này bà gái để mà bé rocker này rồi nó sẽ beri chịu à mà rocker rồi nó để ta đến đó chỗ này bé đun đâu để đâu chỉ là để chăm.
So number 8 is craving, and that is like a person drinking alcohol. Number 9 is grasping or taking. That is like picking a fruit from a tree. Number 10 is existence, which is like a pregnant woman. Number 11 is birth. That is like giving birth to a child. And number 12 is old age and death, which is like carrying a corpse to a cemetery. So these are the 12 examples of those 12 links.
Dan di kap sunga so ke te yin ge je wa som la chang go yer sin din ge jik jik la chang zon da ge jik jik la chang sa ka re sin na per na ma je ge sim jin ji so je ke yo ba yin na di kap so je na ge de lang der ha mo wa te marek ba re was di kap so ko marek ba chang yor si thế su xem su go xem ya cái lô chỉ rồi thế cái sự tập gì chẳng được rồi sinh tập gì thế thế cái sự ta su đang rồi thì số người ta học qua nhưng mà lại ông bắt thế nam sĩ tam bộ xem để chẳng sao sao mà lại được gì nam sĩ chẳng sao sao
So the important thing to understand here is how the 12 links are complete within one instant, as opposed to other people's claim that they are complete within 3 lifetimes. So how they are complete within one instant, for example, if a person is killing an animal. So first of all, he doesn't know how to discern between virtue and non-virtue, what should be done, what should not be done. And that's ignorance. And then secondly, he brings up this intention of wanting to kill. And that's the karmic, this formative forces, karmic forces. And then he is also conscious of how to kill that animal, and that is the third one, consciousness.
Ta di kap so pungponga yorwa de minzok tim there is pungponga ta pungponga de la wangbo zhou yorwa de wangbo zhou de jimchi zhou tim there is ta de wangbo zhou bo de zhen du yong ba de rikpa tim there is de ta rikpa de la de nyam sin yong yong go du de chor tim there is
Vi semjenging unere. Vi semjeng soja pa unere. Na songjeng unere malawa.
Songjeng dera.
Songjeng unere. Korangi pumbo, korangi wambora. So then number 4 is name and form. That refers to that person's 5 aggregates. Number 5 is the 6 senses, so the 6 sense powers, that person. Number 6 is contact. So then when he gathers his sense powers to make contact with the animal. And then number 7 is feelings. So then he has an actual experience of this.
The capture that's what they were chapa or chapate, the sipitim there is. That's Sipa Danyamdula Numomba, Yoda Taki, also Samsung here did not the Numomba. Tell us open on Numomba Karonji Yumbate, Limpetinder, Chad Yoris. Teni take up Suta Lunga Sawa Yoras Sawa de Sipitimder Chad Yoris, Timder Japan, Sipitimder. Teni take up Suta the Timder to Sochiwa de Chiv Timder Chad Yuri. Teni Tatena mean me Chadala, Gavit Timder seat, Teni Tatozi Timder the Pangayum Bahayum Chadala, Teni Tag Ga shares the Hubitinders and a Hubitinder, that over the Tinder Junior de Gejik the Sandro Gris on a teacup.
And so then, if the person is attached to the sensation of pleasure, that's the 8th link of craving. And then number 9 is grasping. So this is then when because of craving, the mind enters into various afflictive emotions or those mental events that you mentioned before. So that is then grasping. And then the actual activity of body and speech is the 10th link of existence. And then number 11 is birth. The Chuchipa di Jashikasur.
Chuchipa, ya Mimpachat.
Kiva Kitender.
Javian.
Mimpachati Mimpachati Chubam.
Mimpachat Kavade. The Timder Junior de Timder Junior. Chuchik the Timder Junior, Chivachatel, Chiv Timder, Gahit, Yam the Sandra Rangamut, Netaranda Hilo Jabdenmato.
Redi Haki, the Chuni Hakori, in a Chuchik, Tikabla, Kichik Sangwadi, Chuchikare. Chukchik
the take up the Timder Junior, Yachivachatel, then Chiv Timder, Yason.
So number 11 is birth, and so basically birth gives rise to or gives birth to all those 12 links. And then number 12 is old age and death, and so there's 2 considered as 1. And old age here is when all of this comes to ripening, the ripening aspect, and death is then in this instant here, in this example, the complete destruction. So this is how the 12 links are complete in one instant.
And Chasum not going on that Timber Junior, the Chasum not going to Chasum the Chachikaras and a new Mumba Cha Chaniba de Leg Cha Chasum by the Donghaka Cha. Oh, that is Chasum not going to then that Gejik dollars Javazo Gejik dollars Tango Yuriso.
So then these 12 links are also grouped into 3 sections. The section of afflictions, the section of karma, and the section of suffering. And so these are all complete within a single instant of an action.
Jadang Tibrek Visacha that the Trajachumi is the Hin Gomare, Kachechi. Actually, Jatan the Tibrek Tokia Tarayina, Trajachumi, say Yosarawatin, Trajan Rose Hin Gomare.
And natural like a chicken to Lansmuda.
Then he and the raw.
Oh yeah.
We will keep going because the internet works well, right? Okay. Teni da dorji song semne tade wange nawa yin song. Da tinder ko chomde kar chimbo je ri ndi chomde choran so tonang ro zo teksa chik cha no yuri samsong. Da semne tade wange nawa yin sen sandela kare re sena. Dan deni jiktin cha sor ton sano tang du. Dan jiktin sumjing gombo ki yiba la ngarang chu wu ro chora la soba nzambelende didi inari leblev inari param la soba yuba ke ta nga so mountain mare lamde te so kare in yang chama sem la ra le de yuri sem kan chanang to ne manda song yabari song ra.
So this, in general, this whole section on the vital points of interdependent origination is very important. So you should pay attention to that one. And so the next Vajra statement says, due to the disposition of the minds, the appearances too are different. So, for example, however this world appears, whether it's flat or round, or we have Mount Meru and so on, the different appearances all depends on our mind. So due to the disposition of one's mind, there have different appearances.
Nande Jirtan Sanje Lingi Chakchor la Soban, the Datamjela Tunker Nana Songdang Jikten, Teni Chungba Caps Songba Jikten, the work Caps Songdang, the Nates there's a Yebla Soba Tamjela, Manda Songha Yuri Songri. Da Ying Gahelam, that song Nang Gawari, the Da, Jigba Chamada, Laku Yorite, te Jigba Chago Yomari, Sem Tade Wange, then Nawala Tateba Nang Choko Yoris. Then there's Songur, then the pay de la Garis in a Perna Chota with Jigla, Flag Duzini the Nang, then it Duzini the Longje, Duzukalekachi, Layola. Me your name Muk Chuni the Nang, then it Chotar the Muk Lagachi, Terry Yadala, Naktan Nidnang, Kon Naktatar the Lagachi, Terry Nyawala, Nyawa Simjinke, Trochetar the Nang, then it Trocher Tardo Lagachi in Guyore, then Semne Tadewangan Nawa, Yinzang, Yeti in a young, then Tanang Chokuyore.
So the Buddha explained the way those four continents and so forth all can come into being, how they appear, and so that it is explained in the Kala Chakra teachings, in the Abhidharma, or in the Vinaya teachings, and it is explained differently in all of these texts. So there seems to be a contradiction. Other people might think that they're not described in the same way in those texts. But the point here is that they don't need to appear in the same way, because the mental dispositions of everyone is different, so things appear differently to us. For example, the appearance of water is seen by gods as nectar, and when they drink it, it also performs the function of nectar. And for human beings, it is water, and it performs the water-like function. And for hungry ghosts, it is seen as pus and blood, and also it has that function to them. And for hell beings, it appears like molten iron, and it also performs that function. So because people's minds, the dispositions of their minds is different, appearances appear in different ways, and they can appear in different ways.
Nanda Dubzi de la Ju Nanke Tara Saju Heju Dorjikar long the ding the your tongue wang bu jebra nams namba thade manchi des yo korang dulo gongone namba thade ta thamade joke yo marite zukso nangwar churpa yes churpa nes ransem kona nangwa olsun take it up.
So then this is established in the Vajra Panchara Tantra, where it says the particulars of the objects and senses do not have different forms. The appearing of form and so forth is the appearance of one's mind alone.
Teni gombo pamu chiba ke sone nyarwa dangne sangje wars ta nyarwa ni sangje ji parda tudar sem je nawa des toni yin be nega ti so toni yin be jimsin je jiang jurt de bai so dan de namju ngarang so jiang mai bala jiang char de was kain so ko toni yin be jimsin ji that do not barano.
Then Pamodrupa said, through the vital point that the appearances of mind, which is free from proliferation, are from the hell realms up to Buddhahood emptiness. They can turn into anything. Normally we also say that because nothing whatsoever truly exists, anything at all can appear, because everything is emptiness.
Then that on just similar rale, she was the same day on Lela rale, younger. Same Jibola rale, do Bayuna. Something around to the same Jura down the Jiki cho the Batavich Yorete. Something same Jura down a young. Young ton in Juranda with the tongue matabate, Lela rale do you barriers. Lading at some around to the Jurumbo, la let the sa yadu. Teni ko teni te pakano the sangwala to yung mongon do yuza, teni lamsang around so can nelong do matamdo.
So all depends on the mind and also depends on one's karma. So it's not just the mind. So we can change our mind, our perspective of the mind. But sometimes even though we change our mind, and we cannot change our outer circumstance because that is determined by karma, because we have accumulated karma for a long time. Therefore, it also takes a long time to clear away those karmic imprints. And that's why we cannot realize the nature of the mind immediately.
Nande gombo pamo trabake kureg dinsaje insare yuksaje dinsarang imhi ngamshu se sajaje the samsan omi kine tabeji nangdo songdwa den samsan da jasik saye da nyawa ka chahe jora jasik saye labde te tabeji nangdo song konke nande ya tambo te song.
So Pamodrupa's main seat was called Ngamshu, and so he said sometimes this place of Ngamshu would appear to him as the pure land of Kanishta, and at times it would appear as a ground of burning iron, like a hell realm.
Teni darang around so jagu pumbura la kaparba hisinki chunkur kursa de la kor sewa sayam dori sonre. Ta darang around so gana ta andu.
This
jagu pumbura hisinki do sungsa ke jagu pumbura de la kor bamcha mambo ndoris. Tendal sunko yorawan do na. Tang atso kata the core jatso kahin dogona sacha telan to sami pano jirindo. That day, around so le nang la, that day, some of the nang to come is. We ma capso, Kona Bagal.
Such a la corgador to Kumare Samsara.
Tata Sacha Jagu Pumburate, Sacha the Pe Chung Chung Rindo, Ja Chung Chung. Matsoko Taratatu. Yin and Telan Corn Buntrama Bondori Songri, Sanjay Kirsin Chungakurt. Thing not to take Zamari Laguna, Ta Lap Tokoyomare. Then it's Zama Main Pate, then he Angurita. Sen Tade Wangan Nansur Tade Chayong Baris.
For example, the Buddha, he taught the Prajnaparamita Sutra at Vulture Peak Mountain. It is said that he taught that sutra at that time to an assembly of many hundreds and thousands of disciples. And so nowadays, when we look at this place, it actually seems to be a very small place. So one may wonder, how did he teach to hundreds and thousands of people in this small place? And yet we cannot say that it is false, because it is how things appear to one. And so this is what this statement here establishes. It is due to the dispositions of the minds that appearances too are different.
Oh, yeah, that's Yayura. Oh, Sunamde, Tamjezipani, Tovani, Berdana, Bazene, Chiganonja, Balonjova, Subon Zolan, Roa, may every being ailing with the disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. Thank you very much. Kamachongala.
We'll now take a 15-minute tea break.